Hello friends, welcome to LS Space. I am Surekant, Library and Information Science Professional. Okay, today's our topic is that open access publishing system. So what look into this open access publishing system. Today's in our topic we see that brief history of open access publishing model. And open access means APC means article processing charges, and ways of open access publishing and other ways of open access publishing models is that gold gold open access publishing model, green open access publishing, hybrid journal open access publishing, diamond open access publishing. These are the four types of open access publishing, and along with that we check the benefits of open access publishing, what is the use of open access publishing, and the majorly how the library professionals and library organizations supporting to the open access publishing system or model to develop a research, okay, and help to the scholars. Okay, if we go into the brief history of the open access model, the idea of open access was made possible by the introduction of the internet about 34 years ago. Early examples of open access project include the establishment of the National Institute of Health, like that PubMed Central Repository in 2000. The publishing of many free peer-reviewed online journals in the early 1990s, and the 1991 creation of the online topic repository Arexio. Subsequently, three separate seminars held in in Bethesda, Berlin, and Budapest in 2002 and 2003. There are continuously three seminars held on the open access publishing model, and those are the places of Bethesda, Berlin, and Budapest. It resulted in formal definition of open access means that is still widely recognized today. The following is the generally agreed upon definition of open access literature: digital digital works available for free online without any restrictions on copyright, licensing, are known as open access literature. Okay, the overall concept of this is the decided of these three seminars continuously in 2000, 2002, and 2003. There are continuous efforts to open access publishing model. Okay, although cost for digital publishing can be lower than print publication, in open access publishing is not free. Instead of charging the readers for access through purchase or subscription, alternative business models have arisen that provide a publishers that in the financial means financial means for providing access to the scholarship. See, in this process there are open access in the means there is completely not freely publishable. There are authors should be pay for the publishers to make their research to open to the readers and their audience. Okay, so open access is a publishing model for scholarly communication that makes research information available to readers at no cost, as opposed to the traditional subscription model in which readers have access to scholarly information by paying subscription. In this scenario, open access means the authors and scholars should be paid to the publishers to publish their work, and here the access audience and your readers or users should not be paid for the access the information. The these users are paid via the pay through the libraries get a subscription from the publishers by paying. Increasing the visibility and utilization of academic research findings is a significant benefit of open access. However, there are critics particularly regarding ensuring quality. The Berlin Declaration on Open Access to Knowledge in the Science and Humanities in 2003 outlined the principles of open access, garnering, garnering, garnering support from numerous global academic entities, including Dutch universities and research institutions. So APCs means article processing charges. So it is one of the cost recovery model and implementation of article processing charges. These charges are paid by the author who may get assistance from research grants, the university or the library prior prior to publication. Production cost can also be offset by the sales of membership, add-ons, and enhanced services by the publishers. In some cases, journals are fully subsidized by a sponsoring institutions. The benefits of individual scholarships, scholars, related institutions, scholarly communication, and the general researching public are also primarily motivating factors. Okay? So ways are open access publishing models are those gold open access, gold open access system. So gold open access is when an author publishes in an open access journal. The article is published in an open access journal that provides immediate open access to all of its articles on the publisher's website. This this route may involve a charges. The publication costs, known as article processing charges (APCs), are covered by authors or by either institutions. A list of fully open access publishing journals that are accessible worldwide can be found in a DOAJ, Directory of Open Access Journal. It's listed in this website DOAJ. There is you will get all the open access journals where you can freely uh, publish your research work. Green open access. Second one is green open access. Green open access is a when an author archives a version of their work in an open access repository, irrespective of where it is finally published. After publication, the author self archives can per version peer reviewed post print of the article for free public use in their institutional repository. They can archive in a central repository, for example PubMed Central. They you can get freely accessible information, article, research papers, okay? Or and some other open access websites are there. For example, Netherlands research portal on Open Air Connect. This portal gives access to all the publications in Dutch repositories. So hybrid open access means the term hybrid open access is also sometimes used to describe an open access model where a journal provides gold open access only for those individual articles for which an open access publishing fee has been paid. However, gold open access does not always require that authors pay an article processing charges. Some fully open access journal charges no APC charges. And another one model is a diamond open access publishing. The Diamond wrote publication via Diamond Journal or platform that do not charge as author facing publication fees. Diamond open access journals are usually founded via library subsidized models. Institutions or societies you may so you can find a list of Diamond journals on the DOAJ website by filtering for journals websites of APCs. So what are the benefits of the open access? So uh, what is the okay, more exposure for your research work. Your research is going to be get more exposure, so you get more citations, you get more citations, and your research can influence policies. The public can access your customers, and taxpayers get value for that money. Research in developing countries can see the work. In the sense, if your research is open to the everyone, to then it will get a most more exposure, and your research and your audience may increase, and citations must be related. Okay, this all help to the further research. Okay, so the support of libraries and other institutions in open access, preparing how libraries can help to the open access system, preparing guide to the open access to the researchers and their faculties, scientists. Okay, encouraging dialogue about open access, for example through blogs, newsletters. Okay, sorry, holding open access week events to promote the awareness about the open access publishing policy and its users, and make a awareness about the open access policy, endorsing statement on open access such as the Berlin Declaration. Tell them to the your scholars and your researchers, your scientists, faculties, whoever in the research field. You tell them about the Berlin Declaration, what it called the open access. Establishing another one, establishing open access publication funds, and establish the open access publishing funds for the scholars and researchers, and establishing institutional repositories and make its archives of the your research publication, your institute research publication, establishing open access databases, and issuing open access resolution and enacting open access policies for your research and your institution journals, purchasing institutional subscription that provide discount on open access publishing fees, and negotiating open access agreements with the publishers, providing copyright advisory services to the researchers, providing assistance in conversion of institutions based on journal to open access journals, forming forming academic center devoted to scholarly publishing. Okay, these are all the things how the libraries are support to the open access publishing model, and the sorry benefits of the open access publishing. Okay, and overall we know open access publishing is helpful. Okay, and what are the models of open access? This is the overall of the background of the open access publishing model. Thank you for watching, friends.